Working from home. For some, it's a dream. For others, it's their everyday. Whether you love it or hate it, sometimes you just don't have a choice. Be it a global pandemic, a sore back, many of us are fortunate enough to have what we need to be productive wherever we are. Now, while working from home offers many conveniences, it also comes with a set of challenges that are unique to being separated physically from your colleagues and clients. And since these challenges are largely centered around communications and social topics, we couldn't resist digging in. Perhaps working from home is not something you do regularly, but nonetheless, it's important to have your remote, collaborative communication skills up to snuff. You never know when the need will arise. Plus, much of what we discussed today is not only crucial when working from home, it's also just good practice as our teams and clients become increasingly distributed around the world. Even if you're in the office, the people you may be engaging with may not be, meaning these strategies still apply. So enough prefacing, let's dive in. What is up, Explearners? Mary Daphne here of Explearning.co, where we believe social skills are the key to the good life. What's the good life? It's a life where you call the shots, you have a crew you can count on, and you're on a mission that you care about. Now, before we jump in, I wanted to let you know about a great free resource that we've created for the Explearning community. It's a comprehensive small talk guide. If you find yourself grasping at thin air when you're in unfamiliar social situations, then our small talk guide is for you. Just click the link in the description box below to get the free guide delivered straight to your inbox. All right, without further ado, let's jump into some effective strategies for working from home. Number 1, over-communicate. Yes, you heard that correctly. We want you to communicate way more than you're used to in the office. When you're speaking with people face-to-face, you may not realize how much extra information you are conveying with your body language, tone of voice, facial expressions. When that communication switches to phone call, emails, and project management software, all of that extra information gets blocked by the barriers of technology. For this reason, it is on you to provide far more detail in your remote communication than you may be accustomed to. Don't make assumptions. Spell things out. Leave nothing up to interpretation. If you are frustrated or think the other person might be concerned, get clarity on that before proceeding. You don't have the luxury of seeing their nonverbal signals, so you'll need to get them to articulate those instead. I know that we often talk about keeping emails short. That still applies, but don't confuse short with incomplete. Make sure you convey and collect all the information necessary for your team to operate effectively. You might be surprised at how much others appreciate this extra level of detail. It shows that you care about things going smoothly. And if you worry that the recipients will feel it as excessive, feel free to caveat your communication by saying something like, "You probably already have a good understanding of this, but for the sake of clarity, I'm just going to spell it out to ensure that we're on the same page." Number 2, make space to make small talk. When you're in the office, it's easy to catch up socially with your teammates. It could be as simple as leaning over to say, "Hi," or you could catch them on your way to the snack room, or you might duck out for lunch or coffee with them. Offices are designed to create these kinds of informal interactions that help develop a sense of team camaraderie and belonging. When you're working from home, all of these little moments to connect informally with others disappear. You don't have the proverbial water cooler to hang out at. For that reason, you'll need to be much more deliberate about making time for making that human connection with others. If it's the first note that you're sending someone in the day, try opening up with, "Hey, how's it going? Did you catch the latest episode of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?" Or if you haven't spoken with the colleague in a few days, you can say something like, "Wow, I feel like it's been ages since we last spoke." If you're sending a dense email, you might not want to muddy it with personal side chatter, and that's totally understandable. In that case, consider sending the recipient a personal note on the side with a warm greeting, letting them know that a beefy, no-nonsense email is on the way. Gchat or any other instant messaging tool you use in the office works great for this. Adding a bit of personal flair to your communications can go a long way towards humanizing your interactions. It reminds everyone that we're not alone, that we're not just robots, and that we care about each other's feelings and lives. You'll find that doing so engenders more fluid communication and better project outcomes. And let's be honest, it just makes work a lot more fun, so why not? Clarify your availability. This one is easy to overlook. When you're in the office, it's obvious when you're available. People can see if you're on the phone or out for coffee. When you are working remotely, your availability is much less visible. Your boss might send you an email or try to call you, and if you don't respond within minutes, they start to panic. Meanwhile, you get back from walking your dog to find your phone exploding with frantic notifications. Trust me, I've been there. It's not fun. There are a few ways you can tackle this. The best way is to set expectations with your team. Let them know when you aren't in the office that there's likely to be a bit more delay in your responses. As long as everyone on the team agrees to the same set of expectations, this will work really well. In addition to expectation setting, you should also check if any of the productivity software on your team uses a status indicator. Often you can set your status as a way with a custom message like, "Toilet just flooded, be back ASAP." Or, if necessary, directly reach out to those who you know will want to reach you on a moment's notice to let them know that you're heading out for lunch. The reality is that when you aren't in a controlled environment like an office, there are things outside of your control that will impact your short-term availability, and that is completely 100% understandable. It's just important to make sure that your team is on the same page about that so that there's no confusion as to how easy it will be to reach each other. When it comes to remote work, patience is a true virtue. So there you have it, 3 effective ways to level up your remote collaboration skills. Let's quickly recap. 1, communicate way more than you're used to, ask the questions you need to ask, and leave nothing open to interpretation. 2, make space for being human because the computers and smartphones won't do it for you. And 3, set clear expectations about everyone's availability while they're out of the office. There's no need to be criticized for missing a phone call because you were cleaning up some spilled coffee. The reality is that remote collaboration is the future of work. Sure, we'll always have physical spaces where we can all meet up, but as technology improves our ability to stay connected wherever we are in the world, the shift to remote work is already taking place. My advice to you is to embrace it and take note of the strategies that we discussed here today in order to equip yourself for success. So now that I've shared our thoughts, I would love to hear about how you collaborate remotely. What's been working? What challenges have you encountered? Share that with me and the Explearning community in the comments down below. If you love this lesson, please be sure to let me know. You can give this video a thumbs up on YouTube, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to join our tribe of Explearners so that you never miss a lesson. And if you ring that bell, you'll get notified about our new lessons and our weekly live streams. Email this video to a friend or a coworker who also wants to supercharge their social skills. And while we're at it, feel free to share this lesson with your friends on Facebook and Twitter as well. And remember, the write-ups of these lessons are always available on our blog at explearning.co blog. With that, have an awesome week, Explearners. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time for your next Explearning lesson. Happy Explearning!